Hello all and welcome, and I'm the MGTOW philosopher, and in this video I wanted to discuss some of the comments I've gotten. I thought it might be fun, because some of them were very negative, some of them were very positive, some of them were just very amusing, and others were just plain stupid. And so, what could be funnier than going over them and addressing them directly in a video? So that's what I'll do. And let's start with number one. So basically, the only way to show a woman I love her is to never show a woman I love her. Right? Okay, got it. Yeah, that's right, moron. Because there's no such thing as romantic love. It's not a real thing. We love our kids, we can love a dog, but we don't love women. Romantic love is made up. It's nothing more than books, movies, something people have idealized. People are in love with the idea of being in love. Love itself, no, doesn't exist, okay? The love you feel for somebody else, that's self-love. That's you seeing qualities in them that you like about yourself. So it's all about you, not them. So the idea of romantic love, bullshit. Next. What's sad is that this sounds like a playbook which women use. Thanks for posting. So this is in regards to my video about bad boys and how to be one, I believe. And yes, that's how women act. Women are... But it's not generally a conscious thing with women. This is just how they are naturally. It's not how we are naturally, so we have to get lessons and be told by our parents and our fathers specifically how women really are and how we just have to treat them like crap to keep them coming back. Next. I will not be a bad boy just to make any woman happy. I will stay the way I was since the day I was born, and if women don't like it, I don't care. I can imagine this guy crying as he's writing this. Absolutely ridiculous how you have to act like Z to get a woman's attention. Yeah, that is unfortunate, isn't it? Sadly, that's reality, son. It's called reality. Now, there's two ways to deal with reality, of course. You can conform, or you can choose to live in a mud hut somewhere and fish for trout out of a stream along with the fucking grizzly bears and hope they don't eat your ass. So you can either choose to live off the fucking grid, or you can choose to conform to reality and conform to society and how society works and live with other people. So it's your choice. I choose to live in reality, and sadly but truthfully, in reality, you have to do certain things that you may not like to get certain things you want. Okay, and one of those things is women. This is just reality. Maybe they don't like the way you are. And maybe there's a problem with you. Did you ever stop and think that? Maybe you're a pathetic loser. I mean, it could just be that you're a pathetic loser. Or maybe you need to lose weight. Or maybe you need to... Even then, a fat guy can get women if he's got charisma and style and pizzazz and maybe some money in the bank. Or he can lie real well and have the woman think that he has money. And then he bangs her and then... tosses her, and she never finds out he's got no bank because he was smart enough not to take her back to his place. So clearly you've got some issues, son, that you need to work on. And I don't think in this particular instance the problem is women. The problem is you not accepting reality. Next, this video has some merits, but it's far too hard line. As a long-time red pillar, I do believe some positive reinforcement can be good. I believe this was also about how to be a bad boy. You are mistaken, my friend. Positive reinforcement is not good. You don't want to be positive to a woman. It's validating them and thereby giving them what they want. And once they have what they want, they don't need you anymore. Once they hear I love you, and if that's all they want, they heard the I love you and they're out of there, okay? You're not interested in a long-term relationship, okay? You don't want to lead this one on. You do not want to live with her. You do not want to marry her. You don't want anything long-term with her. So you get the hell out of there. Love. It's a bunch of horseshit. Men say that to women to get laid, and if they do, they're pathetic. Never tell a woman you love her. Holy shit, you'd have to be a fucking moron. Positive reinforcement. What is that anyway? Okay, so what else could positive reinforcement be? Oh, you got a nice ass? Oh, you look great? No, don't do that. That's female worship. You sound to me like a cuck, buddy. You sound like a mangina trying to disguise himself as a red pillar, because any guy with any brains knows... No, positive reinforcement with women does not work. I do believe some positive reinforcement can be good. Please let me kiss your feet, you wonderful woman, you. Yeah, positive reinforcement. That's real good. You got any self-respect, pal? Next. So basically, be the worst kind of young man on the planet, and good women will love you for it. Yeah. If this doesn't spell to anyone that something is off with young men and women, if this doesn't tell you that it's ravenous social engineering, I don't know what else possibly does. And of course, this is all split up with a bunch of essentially broken up sentences with like 27 question marks. Horrible writing, pal. And also stupidity on your part. Listen, you have to accept reality, okay? This is how the real world is. And by the way, you think this is something recent? Do you think women have, just around the 1970s or something, they became like this? Women have always been like this. Women have always been cunts, okay? And men have always had to, well, essentially be assholes to get them. You think this is something new? This is nothing new. It's always been this way. The only difference is that now women are more free to essentially go wild and there's no controls in place, okay? Because society has just said, okay, yeah, women do whatever the hell they want and there's no consequences. But women have always been like that. It's just that society has been designed in a way that there's a man there to keep her in check, okay? Now there's not. So, but if you think women have somehow changed, no, they have not. As far as be the worst kind of young man on the planet and good women will love you, what good women? What do you mean by good women? What is a good woman? I haven't met any yet. Have you? I'm sure you think you have. Maybe you think your mommy was a good woman. Was she really? Was she a single mommy? Good woman. I don't know what that means. Good woman. So one that won't want your money, want you for your money? Well, they all want that, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You define good woman to me, and then we can come back to your comment and talk more about your ideas. But otherwise, you're too vague. Ravenous social engineering, like this is some kind of new thing, the way women act nowadays. They've always been this way, okay? Like I said. It's just that society has changed in a way that is the pendulum is swung too much toward women, and they have too much privilege, woman privilege. The only actual privilege that exists in the world right now is female privilege and minority privilege, victim privilege, all right? And so they get to get away with more, but their natures haven't changed any. Next, you're a fuckwit who hasn't a clue about women, power, or life, MGTOW loser. So I don't have a clue about life or power. What power? What are you talking about? Black power, white power, female power? The power that's lighting up my house right now in this computer? What the hell are you talking about? What power? Don't have a clue about women? For you to say that, you obviously have no clue about women. MGTOW loser. Trust me, pal, I'm no loser. All right? Nothing more to say, really. Just a pejorative. Just a pejorative comment. And a funny one at that, but very limited. Not much I can comment on. Next. You are disgusting. I'd love to see what you guys who are commenting look like. I look pretty good, honey. I'm not a young man, so, I think for my age, I look pretty good. And my wallet looks okay, too. It's not like super great or anything, but it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Probably better than yours. So, women care about money, okay? So, as long as you have money, you're not broke, that's what women care about, okay? And no, not a rich guy, but I'm not a poor guy either. Yeah, I guess I'm somewhere in the middle. Meh. It really doesn't matter, honestly. But no, I don't look bad. Talking seriously, though, no. I'm sure a lot of the guys commenting look just fine. And honestly, the truth of the matter is women do not care how a guy looks when you get right down to it, if he has money. Now, if he has no money, then they care what he looks like. But otherwise, no. Number 9. Unfortunately, I clicked on this by mistake, and I actually got to about halfway. What a complete retard you are. That's very politically incorrect of you to say. How could you say that? Isn't that like bad to say? I thought retards were like a protected class. Aren't they like really oppressed? Don't they like have a really hard time? Should you be calling someone a retard? Or maybe you're just joking. You say women want to be like men. Well, yeah, of course I say that. They're going out to work every day. They're not staying at home. They're not making my sandwich. They're not cleaning the house. They're not washing the clothes. They're not keeping the inside of the house clean. They're not raising the kid. They're sending the kid off to a indoctrination center for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Then soccer practice after that. And then when they get off work, they take the little fucking minivan and pick the kid up. And then they spend no time with the kid because the kid's got 3 or 4 or 5 hours of homework. And then by the time they have the time to talk to him, they sit down for dinner, but maybe not because the kid's too busy. Maybe the kid grabs a fucking sandwich the kid makes for himself and then he goes to bed. And you spent all the 2 minutes with the kid. Yeah, so, yeah, she's not a woman. She's like a man, okay? All right, that comment is done. Next. Well, I know it's a very long comment. All right, there's more. Oy vey. So I'm a complete retard. You don't believe you know any woman that wants to be like a man. Well, I just covered that. You're talking about women as if you know the first thing about them. Well, how many women have you dated, sweetheart? 0, right. So shut the fuck up. And there lies your problem, you bitter little man. Oh, honey, I'm not little, believe me. Most women are not feminists. Yeah, they are. Most women are feminists. They just don't call themselves feminists because they know that men don't like feminists, so they say they're not feminists. Or they say they're anti-feminists, which really means they're generally traditionalists or not traditionalists, and they're actually feminists who are just saying they're anti-feminists so they can get a man because they know that men hate feminists. We don't have the time to be feminists. Oh, come on. It's an ideology. It doesn't take time. You just need to be a cunt. We're too busy bringing up our families. Here's the collective. See, women are like fucking ants or bees or shit like that. They all have this collective hive mind bullshit, and they all talk about each other in this holier than thou we are too busy bringing up our families and working. I've been married 28 years. Oh my God, I feel sorry for your fucking husband. Can you imagine being married to this cunt and listening to this bitch nag and complain, go on and on and on, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Holy shit, I'd have shot myself in the head long ago. And I have 2 lovely sons. Oh my God, lovely sons. Probably raised them like fucking girls. I'm sure they're very happy to be out of that house. Yeah, they're in their mid-20s, and I'm proud I'm getting older. Well, so am I. Getting older is good. If you're smart and you are living in reality and you have a practical mind and you're not essentially been indoctrinated into this terrible ideology, then you'll get wiser or will get stupider like you. Yeah, good your kids are in their 20s. They're out of there. They're away from you. I'm sure they're quite happy to be away from you. I'm quite happy to be nowhere near you. It shows that I've lived a full life, something I doubt you will ever be able to say. You sound bitter, honey. Oh my God, how angry you sound. Listen to you. Your life must be a horrible disaster the way you sound. Thank God you and your kind are part of this pathetic MGTOW. Long may it stay that way. Hilarious. Yes, it's a good thing we won't procreate. The smartest people on the planet will not procreate, and so smart people will die, and then all the dumb races will take over, and we will return to the Dark Ages, and people will be living in mud huts with fucking hay roofs. Hooray. Next. My sister is 34 and she works constantly. Her kids are assholes. Can you imagine having this guy as your fucking uncle? She's miserable, but she is happy that she can run. The fuck does that mean? How she can run? Was he talking about physically run? Maybe she exercises or something and she's not too fat to run. I don't know. And she's under 140 pounds and she's 5'7". 140 pounds. So between 130 and 140, so probably 139. That's kind of fat. 5'7" and 140 pounds, that's not a lightweight. She's got some junk in the trunk. Yeah, she's fat. Okay, she's fat. She shouldn't be any heavier than, say, 110, 115. But 5'7"'s not that tall. It's taller than, but not too tall. I mean, yeah, she's a little heavy. Needs to lose about 15, 20 pounds. She looks okay, but her vanity ruined her kids and her life. Okay, so you're saying that she doesn't look that great, but she's very vain, and she thinks she looks better than she actually does, and so she's made her kids very vain. How old are these kids anyway? For them to be real assholes, I figure they got to be teenagers or at least over the age of 10. So she had kids at a very young age. Well, she's a moron then. She's insanely miserable. Is she single? It says she must be a single mom. So yeah, of course she's miserable. Good luck getting any man to marry your sister. 34 years old. And he says kids, not kid. So it's more than one. So it's at least 2 kids at the age of 34. And she's 140 pounds. Good luck. Good fucking luck. There isn't any man in his right mind that would want to be with that. She does wonder why no man wants to marry her. He finishes with that. Yeah, no shit. Oh, she wonders? Why don't you tell her the truth, you idiot? Be honest. Well, sis, you got 2 kids, 3 kids, you're 34 years old, and you're a little fat. So you need to lose about 20 pounds, and you need to give oral on the first date, and then you might get somewhere. But no, he won't be honest with his sister. Shame. Continuing. Traditionalism is just as bad for a man as it is for a woman as it is for men. What? Wait, let me read that again. I fucked up on reading it because it don't make sense. Traditionalism is just as bad for women as it is for men. What are you talking about? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my whole fucking life. What are you talking about? Let's look at a woman's life in a traditional marriage, okay? She's at home. She gets up at 6:30 in the morning or whatever. She cooks the breakfast for him and the kids. He goes to work. They go to school. And she watches TV and drinks fucking tea until whatever time she decides to throw the clothes in the fucking laundry machine and push a button. And then goes. And then ding. And then she takes them out and throws them in another fucking machine and pushes a button. And ding, ding, ding. And then it dings. And then she takes them out and folds the clothes. And then she goes back to watching TV, which she was already doing in between the time the clothes were washing. And she had to throw them in the other thing that was the fucking dryer. Whoa, that's a real hard life. And then maybe during the day she might wipe down something, maybe, but unlikely, especially with women today. She might vacuum something, but generally she'll spend the whole fucking day watching TV, eat her lunch, and then at 6:30, the husband gets home, kids get home, she cooks a meal, and then she gets banged by the husband, and then they go to sleep, and the next day rinse and repeat. Ooh, this sounds like a real difficult life. Meanwhile, let's look at the man's life. He gets up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. He takes a shower, he eats his breakfast. He fights rush hour traffic. He's pulling out his fucking hair because he's moving 2 inches a minute because there's fucking everybody's on the goddamn road and the fucking government doesn't know how to build a fucking road. There's like 2 lanes and like 20 billion cars, so they're not fucking moving. And you get to work and you get to have your boss yelling at you all fucking day. And everybody's asking you, oh, where's that paperwork? Where's that report? And then comes lunch, and you fight in traffic again to go get something to fucking eat because your lazy-ass wife didn't cook any fucking lunch. And then you get to go back to work and do it until your day is over, and you continue with the boss yelling and the people wanting shit from you all day. And then you get home, and if you're lucky, you get a meal cooked for you. And if you're lucky, she might fuck you, but she might not. And then you sleep and rinse and repeat the next day. Now let's look at the liberated woman. She gets up. No man. She cooks her own fucking breakfast, of course. Doesn't cook for anybody else. So, all right, same thing she would have to do if she was married. But she'd have to be cooking for other people. So that's extra work. Okay. But then she doesn't get to sit down and watch TV and drink her fucking tea because she's got to go to work and do all the shit that the man has to do and pull her fucking hair out and then go home and be alone. Now the man, do you remember the story I just told about the man? Just right before this? Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed except he doesn't have to support her and pay for her fucking kids. His life just got better. How the fuck did her life get better? She don't get to sit around all day and watch fucking TV. So whoever made this comment, you are wrong. Obviously wrong, and you clearly put no thought into this idea because the man's life got measurably better while the woman's life got measurably worse. He continues by saying, now women are liberated and it's our turn to be liberated. No, they're not liberated though. They're not. They had it good before. And now they're bogged down with lots of debt. They got to pay for everything themselves. They got to buy everything themselves. They got to pay their own fucking bills. They got to spend all day at fucking work. Yeah, ooh, that's real liberated. Yeah. Everyone should be liberated. Everyone. It's a great time to be a guy. I agree with you there. But it's not a great time to be a woman. And they can thank feminism. It's the beginning of the new male. A movement that's just getting started. Thanks. Oh, you're right about everything except that it was just as bad for women. It was actually much better for women, as I just made obviously clear. And they fucked it up And they're going to wish, they're already wishing they hadn't. Listen to that dumb feminist bullshit, but it's too late. Next. This is traditional, and it is good. Traditionalism is good. That's why it's very important that women are virgins at the time of marriage. It's a psychological fact that the first man whom a woman has sex with, she will imprint upon him, attach to him, and she will attach to him for the rest of his life, rest of her life, whether directly or indirectly. What? What the fuck are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense. I thought for a second this guy was talking about fucking birds. He's talking about actual women? Dude, women are not fucking lizards and dinosaurs and birds and shit, you know? It's not like when a fucking bird pokes its little beak out of the fucking egg and the first thing it sees, it imprints upon. And if it sees a fucking Chevy truck, it imprints upon the Chevy truck and thinks that's its fucking mommy and forms a connection to it. Women are not like that the first time they have sex. Please. She'll bang you, and then she'll drop you for the first guy who actually has a car if you don't have a car. And if you have a car, if it's a piece of shit, she'll dump you for the fucking guy that's got a pickup truck or some other fancy car. Or if he's got a fucking Corvette, say goodbye to you. What a bunch of horse shit. Please, how many virgins have you banged? Clearly not many. Maybe you're still a virgin yourself. This idea is certainly virginal. It clearly has not been explored very much. If it had been, you would know it was bullshit. Now, let's continue, shall we? Only the white population is shrinking because of ego-cultivating faggots like the MGTOW crew. Crew? So we're a crew now. We're just this small little group that doesn't even qualify as like a large pool of people. We're a crew, okay? We're like Tony Soprano's crew that the fucking New York Mafia said, they're just a glorified crew. They're not the real mob. Okay. Genetic dead ends who are satisfied with being failures. Well, I'm not a failure. I can't speak for others, but I think most MGTOW guys are generally pretty successful, or at the very least, they're not total losers. But, I mean, you got to judge people on an individual basis, of course. You can't lump them all together and say, you're all MGTOW, so you all must be losers. That's something only a moron would do. But regardless, no. And by the way, yes, the white population is shrinking because white women are cunts. Women are cunts in general, really. Okay? Okay, fine. The smartest people are not having kids because they're smart enough to see that there are no fucking benefits. There's no benefits for us, so we're not going to have kids. Okay, so it won't be the top 1% anymore that runs the country. Just the top 1/10 of 1%. Fine. But you'll still have white people running things. I mean, what do you think? This won't happen? This not going to continue to be white people running shit? They're the smartest people besides Jews and Asian people, okay? Now, of course, if we all die off, well, then the Asians and the Jews will run everything. Well, the Jews will die off too, I guess, because they're being classified as white people too, so they're under attack as well. And then the Asians will run the world. But, or if they die off, and they are dying off, actually, especially in Japan, then the stupid people will run the world, and then we'll all die. But I don't think that's going to happen. So, anyway, to continue, in most cases, there wasn't traditionalism. If there wasn't traditionalism, we might not even exist. Of course, we wouldn't care if we existed or not. What? I love it when people try to sound profound. If we didn't exist, we wouldn't care if we didn't exist. Yeah, what's your point? That's a tautology. Of course I wouldn't care. I have to exist to care about something. Not sure about this comment, if I should explore it or not. The writer is a moron. Single-parent households are not a good enough replacement for the traditional household. Well, sure they are if it's a man. I mean, we all know women suck as parents, but with a guy there to balance them out, sure. And if you don't have a woman around, the man is a wonderful replacement, and statistics have shown, studies have been done now, since 5% of single parents are men, that children who grow up in single-parent households actually end up just as stable, emotionally, and financially as kids that grow up in two-parent households. It's only the ones that come out of single-mother households that are all fucked up. And not having children is just extinction. Well, no. Oh, mostly of the white race. Well, the leftists want us to die. The women want us to die. And they want themselves to die, too, because they're white. So, we can't do anything about that except basically withdraw from women until they run out of shit, and then they'll come back, or they won't, but we'll be happy, so who gives a fuck about them? Having said the above, you're right that in today's world it's very expensive and risky to have children. Yeah, right. That's why we don't. But if laws changed, it would be best for those who want to have kids to raise children in a more traditional way. Really? How do you know? Have we tried any other way? I mean, other than the single mother bullshit that doesn't work. I mean, we could try the single father stuff that works just fine, but that would be empowering men too much, and we wouldn't be able to create all these feminist leftist morons who promote this stupid leftist ideology. And of course, the government likes this ideology because it's full of leftist pinheads, and they want to continue to spread it among the mindless masses. Next, why do I hate fat women? Because they're women. That's a good one. I just threw that in there for a laugh. Next comment. I get fat women are unhealthy and even not attractive to most people, but so are fat men. No, that's not true, honey. That's not true. If he's got a big fat wallet, he's very attractive to a woman. I mean, haven't you been watching the news, or don't you watch TV, or haven't you seen tabloid pictures of these big fat millionaires and billionaires walking around? These 60, 70, 80-year-old guys that have like no hair except for that little fucking horseshoe thing around the side of their head, and they let that fucking horseshoe hair and that sideburn hair grow down to their chin, and they look ridiculous, but they don't give a fuck because they're like billionaires, and they got this hot 22-year-old woman on their arm. What do you think those women are with him for? Because they think he's hot? Physically? No, they think he's hot financially. To women, money is like a third or fourth priority. I mean, first is money. And then second, he provides what's needed, and she gets what she needs, and she gets what she wants. And then way down on the list is if he's good looking. I mean, if he's good looking, that's a plus. But it's not a necessity. And of course, anyway, he's old, he's senile. She can get a guy on the side. These hot young chicks that get with these older guys for their money, they're banging some hot guy on the side anyway. So she gets what she needs, he gets what he needs. Maybe he knows she's banging somebody, maybe he doesn't, he's half senile already, or maybe he's not half senile and he just doesn't give a shit, or maybe he's too busy to care. But either way, they're both getting what they need. He's a fool to marry her, of course, if he does. But if he's dating her and he's providing her with stuff, and in the return, he's getting something, and she's getting something. Well, that's the way women are. He's going to get sex. He's going to get sex, okay, because he's got money. All right? So you saying that women are giving a shit about whether a man is fat or not, that only is true if he doesn't have money. If he has money, she don't give a crap. I'm not a feminist by any means, but I don't know why this is only about fat women, because men don't care if a woman has money. He doesn't give a shit. If she's hot, who gives a shit? She works at Burger King? What the fuck do I care? She washes cars for a living? Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. She shovels dog shit off the side of the road or off the sidewalk for a living? No, he doesn't care. As long as she's hot, a man doesn't care what the fuck she does for a living. But it's not true for a fucking woman. A woman cares if he has money. If he doesn't have money, she'll bang him, but she's sure as hell not interested in any kind of long-term relationship with him because he's not going anywhere. To continue, I know I'm just a woman, but fat women don't understand that men are visual creatures. Ah, an intelligent comment from a woman. Amazing. Plus, it's a biological fact that healthy women... Yeah, this comment's from a woman. I remember now. It shocked me. I read it. I was like, holy shit, this comment makes absolute sense. And it's coming from a woman? That can't be possible. Anyway, the biological fact that a healthy woman who eats right and works out and takes care of herself automatically makes men attracted to them. Literally, survival of the fittest. I think it's a load of crap, this skinny privilege. Being fat is just lazy, and they want to be rewarded for it. Excuse me. Thank you, honey. 100% correct. I need to say no more. She said it all for me. 18. This is some straight bullshit. I've been with so many thin women in my life who could never satisfy me sexually. Fat women are the best in the bedroom, hands down. Okay, pal. There's such a thing as fetishes. You are a fetishist, okay? And it's perfectly fine. You can have a fetish for whatever you want. And some guys have weird fetishes, some women too. Some guys like to come on women's feet. I mean, some guys like to, have sex covered in honey. Some guys like to, I don't know, doing weird shit in the bedroom. Some of them like shit. Some of them like to play with shit while having sex. Some of them like eating shit. Whatever fetish you might have, that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. You're just one person. You're telling me fat women are the best of the bedroom. They're the best in the bedroom for you because you have a fetish, okay? And fetishes are perfectly fine, but they're not normal, okay? Now, if everybody liked shit and everybody liked having sex and shit, then it wouldn't be a fetish. But of course, people don't like that because very few people have that kind of liking, so it's a fetish. Just like, for example, if eating your own feet, for example, if everybody ate their own feet, it wouldn't be a fetish. But not everybody eats themselves. So it's a fetish called cannibalism, and it's a very fucked up one too, and I wouldn't recommend it, by the way, because if you eat yourself, you're eventually going to fucking disappear. Anyway, also on average, more poor people are obese than rich people. Yeah, right. So you don't know their eating habits can cost more money. Well, if they're eating more, they have to buy more food. You generalize fat women so much, it's very sad. I hope you are happy with yourself. Yeah, I'm very happy with myself. I think your comment is retarded. And by the way, the more food you're eating, the more money you're spending on food. Don't you get that? Now, of course, poor people can be fat today, but that doesn't mean they're not spending quite a bit of money on food. It doesn't mean they're not spending more money on food than they would be if they weren't fat, you dummy. I didn't say they're spending all their money, but I said if you had a fat person as your mate, you're going to spend more money on them. Food might be cheap, but if they're eating more, you're buying more food from you, idiot. What a moron. Hey, people are so stupid. Next. Your mouth is the male equivalent of a fat, sloppy, arrogant, deluded woman. This is clearly from a woman. I could appreciate your point if you were able to articulate it more intelligently. Sigh. I guess she's sighing. Honey, I think I articulated my point very cleverly. Unfortunately, maybe not enough for a dummy like you to understand. Next. Number 6 of your video about fat women and how men don't like them. Her diet costs a lot of money is an inaccurate, biased opinion. People who have more money are able to eat healthier and more expensive meals. What's your point? This doesn't make any sense to me. What's he saying? It doesn't make any sense. If she's fat, she spends more money on food than if she was thin, you idiot. I didn't say it was necessarily expensive for a fat person to eat, but it's certainly more expensive, you can agree with that, than if she was thin. So she's spending more money on food. So she will cost more than a thin woman to feed, you dummy. People who have more money are also able to eat healthier. Healthier doesn't mean necessarily thinner. Healthier is better, of course. But I don't know what the point is. I see no point here. I don't get it. This comment, there's no point. I'm not making a point, so let's move on. This doesn't apply to blacks and Hispanics. They love fat women. He's talking about, again, this video I made about fat women really seemed to hit quite a few nerves. Blacks and Hispanics love fat women. That's bullshit, okay? That is a myth. Let me tell you what it really is about, okay? That's a stereotype. They don't love fat women. They have no choice. You see, the majority of blacks and Hispanics are poor. And when you're poor, what kind of women are you going to get? Fat women. Because hot-looking chicks don't date poor guys, generally speaking. Right. So blacks and Hispanics, they are with fat women because that's the best they can get. They want to dip their wick just like everybody else, but they can't get the hot chicks, so they bang the fatties, okay? Next. Your bullshit comes off as just hate for women in general, just like feminists do for men. I can imagine this bitch crying. Your message is shit. I don't hate women. This is a mistake people make. I don't hate women, and I don't think most MGTOW guys hate women either. I just recognize them for what they are. I recognize them for what they're good for. And then I don't want anything else to do with them outside of those parameters. But that's not hate. You're misunderstanding things completely. You're labeling things hate that are not hate. Excuse me. Next. Damn, you honestly believe fat, ugly men can get real love from women? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe any man can get real love from women because real love doesn't exist. What people call love is just self-love. They see qualities in other people that they like or love about themselves, and so it's all self-love in the end anyway. I think you can love dogs. I think you can love kids. I don't think... Now, and I do think that men... Now, this is the interesting thing. I do think that men, it's possible to love a woman, but it's not the real love that people talk about romantic love. It's a self-love, okay? That's why the bullshit about opposites attract is not true. Sameness attracts, and you like other people because they represent the things that you value, the morals you value, and the things that you value, and so you like them because of the things that are similar about you. So it's self-love. As for women loving men, no, they can't love men. They don't love men. If they do love a man, it's just a form of self-love, just like a man, and his self-love is for her. And any love that exists anyway is in large part also just being in love with the idea of being in love. That's all that is. It's bullshit. He continues to say, that's naive. No, it's reality. It's called prostitution, man. What's called prostitution? What's he talking about? Damn, you honestly believe fat women get real... Oh, okay, so he's saying that, yeah, women being interested in fat men only for their money is prostitution. Yeah, of course. And he goes on to say, women are even more visual than men. Of course, he's an idiot. You must be one of the dumbest men on earth if you believe that. No, women are not more visual than men. This is actually a scientifically proven fact. So you're just wrong. And the only way a man can get genuine romantic from women is if he's in shape and is attractive. You can't get genuine romantic love from anybody. It's not real, pal. Men in general are wealthier than women. Yeah? What's your point? Even in the UK, 90% of multimillionaires are male. Of course, we're smarter. So this gives female gold diggers the advantage when it comes to using ugly men for their money. I don't know why. Advantage. The men have the advantage because they've got the money, you dummy. And if they're smart enough to use that advantage correctly, then the women don't use them. They use the women. If money had no significance, or if females were the wealthier sex, then you'd never see a woman with an unattractive, fat, old man. Okay, first of all, if money had no significance, that's something a loser says who has no money, or can't make money, or is envious of other people who do have money. Let me tell you something, pal. You're living in fantasy land, okay? There will never be a time when there won't be money, okay? What do you think? We're living in the Star Trek universe? Do you think Star Trek is going to be reality someday? When you push a fucking button and a Twinkie pops out, and you push another button and a steak pops out, and they're just magically materializing? What the fuck you thinking? Of course you're going to need money, you idiot. How are you going to incentivize people to do shit? You moron. And of course they wouldn't be with fat, ugly guys if the guys had no money. I already said that. We already know that reality, you idiot. Don't believe me? Look at the dating patterns of most female celebrities or Google Jamaican beach boys or British women in places like Turkey. I know about the Jamaican beach boy phenomenon. They're not beach boys. They're male hookers. And they live in a country that might as well be a third world country. There's no jobs and there's no money, so they make all their money off of tourists. And these young Jamaican guys bang British women for money. They're just a bunch of poor guys. And there's no opportunities there, no jobs, and they're making money the best way they can. What's your point? You have no point. So he's basically saying that if the tables turned and women had all the money, that men would only date wealthy women. No. Because that's not the world. It's not the real world, you idiot. That's not reality. That'll never be the case because we're smarter, we're stronger, we have more stamina. We don't have the babies. So that'll never be reality. So your point is in no way a good point. It doesn't make any sense. Just going to move on because that's a cesspool of stupidity, that question. That comment, whatever the hell it was. Next, I love Kathy Griffin. No matter what. What? You love Kathy Griffin? Kathy Griffin has got to be the worst comedian on the planet. She's not funny. She's just not funny. All she does is she says outrageous, provocative stuff, but that doesn't necessarily make you funny. Cutting off somebody's head symbolically and holding it up, saying, look at me, that's not funny. That's not funny. I mean, you could consider it performance art, maybe. I mean, that's a stretch, but funny? She's not funny. She's a comedian. She's funny as fuck. No, man, she's fucking boring as shit. I don't find her funny. Maybe feminists find her funny, and man-haters find her funny, and leftists find her funny, but she is lame. You, on the other hand, are not, with your lame attempts at jokes. Kathy is God. I think this comment was posted by somebody just trying to fuck with me or try to be funny. I don't think it's a real comment. Oh, my God. It's not possible. No, this is just somebody messing around. Let's move on. Kathy Griffin is nothing compared to the Nazi you obviously defend, man. You stuttering, repeating yourself. Okay, so I don't know what that has to do with Trump supposedly being a Nazi. Could you tell me anything he's done that's made him a Nazi? Has he cooked any people up in ovens? Has he turned any people's bones into soap? I don't know if he's done anything that Nazis did. I mean, did he send jackbooted thugs out in the middle of the night to round up black people or Jews or something? I mean, what did he do that made him a Nazi exactly? Can you define an actual action? Or is this just something somebody told you and it's been repeated so much again and again and again by media pundit talking heads that you've come to believe it because you're a vapid, airheaded moron? You idiot, just check his mindless tweets. So he's a Nazi because he tweets. Do you tweet? Oh, well, you're a Nazi then. Next. And as far as Democrats go, they are stupid too. I'd rather be a socialist than being in a dictatorship. Really? What do you think a socialist country is, you moron? You ever hear of Germany in 1930s, you moron? The socialist Nazi, the socialist party. But the word socialist was in the fucking name of their country, you moron. People seem to forget this. They think that the fucking Russia as something was a dictatorship. Lenin and Stalin and all those guys. But it wasn't social. Yeah, that was social. But that was a socialist country, you idiot. It was a dictatorship too. He seems to think these are mutually exclusive somehow. Oh, if it's socialist, it's not a dictatorship. And if it's a dictatorship, it's not a socialist country. What the fuck are you talking about, you moron? You clearly don't know anything. They can be both, you idiot, and they usually do tend to end up being both. And Nazi Germany, that was a socialist country too. Healthcare should be free, like other countries. Nothing is free, you idiot. There's no such thing as a free lunch, you moron. Who do you think's paying for this shit? The gold fairy? The gold fairy is just coming down and he's making gold out of thin air. And he's making. By the way, if the gold fairy came down and just started making gold out of thin air, very quickly, gold would be worthless because there would be so much of it, you moron. Are you figuring something out here? Yeah, it's called paper money, you idiot. If you keep printing money, it's worthless, you fucking moron. Why don't I go to Zimbabwe or one of these fucking African countries who just, started printing money until it cost $1 billion to buy a loaf of bread or $2 billion to buy half a dozen eggs. What the fuck are you thinking? Free. It's not free, you idiot. People have to pay for this stuff. You have to steal money from people in the form of taxes to get it. Idiot. Free. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Free. Free for you, you parasite. You probably ain't worked a day in your fucking life. You want other people to pay for you. Why don't you go get a job? Try go getting a job. Do that. Healthcare be free like other countries. We're supposed to be the wealthiest country in the world. Who told you that? Where are you getting this? We're bankrupt. America's bankrupt, you idiot. We're borrowing money from people. We're printing money ad infinitum just to keep our fucking heads above the water. Who told you we were the richest country in the world, you idiot? We're not the richest country. It's all bullshit. It's all fake wealth. It's not real, you moron. We're leveraged up the ass. Richest country in the world. We're bankrupt because of parasites like you who want all this free shit. Jesus Christ, you morons. Do you know that Obama, in 8 years as president, spent more money than the prior presidents in 232 years. This guy spent more fucking money, and that's accounting for inflation, by the way, in 8 years than every other president before him for 232 fucking years. But nobody seems to care about that because, we got a lot of free shit. You fucking morons. Free health care. Fuck off. I think U.S. citizens should get free health care. I feel old saying rich and get richer. What? Oh, God. Of course, this person, obviously a moron, and it shows in their writing. I should move on instead of trying to make sense of this garble of words. Oh, okay. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. I had to rearrange some shit. I figured out the meaning of what he was trying to say. Because USA takes care of people not from here. Well, that's true. But that's the problem you're talking about, you idiot. That's because those people that are not from here are getting the free shit that you say people should be getting. You just contradicted yourself, you fucking moron. And the rich getting richer, oh my God. Rich people are generally the smartest people in the fucking world. They're very high IQ people. They work 80, 100 hours a fucking week. They're driven. They're the most productive people on earth. That's why companies pay them so much, because they're going to pay this guy $10 million a year because they're going to make him $50 million a year, you idiot. And if they fired him or didn't pay him enough, he'd go work somewhere else, and then they wouldn't have a good CEO, and then they would lose lots of money. And then those workers that work for that company, they would end up getting their salary slashed. And then they would end up hiring less people the next year because they didn't have enough profits, because the guy who you thought made too much money, they cut his fucking salary and he went and worked somewhere else that fucking paid him enough. And then workers there got hired and got raises because this guy's so fucking productive. And these are the people that you want to bleed so that they go and live somewhere else and work somewhere else and make that place rich, you moron. But God bless the ones that were beheaded by God. Bless. Okay, this guy is some kind of fucking whack job. He's getting into religious wacko mumbo jumbo bullshit talk. So let's move on. White privilege. Oh my God. I need to prepare for this comment. 1 second, please. Okay, I'm ready. This just looks like a funny one. White privilege is having history books rewritten so that whites can bang their chests saying we created civilization. Oh my God. Okay, let's do a very quick history lesson, all right? Yeah, the Egyptians were not white people. Okay. Other than that, yeah. But that was a long fucking time ago. Let's go back to, say, ancient Rome. Okay, the most advanced fucking civilization in the world until, say, even the 18th century. So these people, the Romans, they had double pane glass. They had heated water. So they had pools of heated water. They had underground heating. You walk on the floor. The fucking floor is heated. These people were fucking geniuses. They had surgical tools made of silver. They understood that silver somehow was some kind of anti-germ thing. It was very clean metal. They used silver instruments. They have found surgical kits from surgeons in the ancient Roman Empire that very closely resemble surgeon's tools from today. They did brain surgery back then. Somebody get kicked in the fucking head. They drill into the fucking head to relieve pressure. The fucking Romans were the most advanced civilization in the world pre-industrial revolution. You could go back. You could go to the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, even the 1800s. The fucking Romans were more advanced than these fucking people 2,000 years before these fucking people existed, almost 2,000 years before them. And you're going to fucking tell me, and they were white people, by the way, in fucking Italy, speaking Latin and shit. You're going to tell me that white people and the Greeks, no, let's not forget the Greeks. White people didn't build civilization, and then Europe. Let's not forget about Europe. Let's look at the world. Let's take a look at the world. Let's take a look at all the fucking countries that are most advanced and have been the most advanced and have contributed the most to the world. And let's take a look at all the fucking countries that ain't white. There you go. So don't tell me that white people didn't create civilization. They created the best civilization. I didn't say that they aren't the only ones to have created civilizations. Of course, other people created civilizations. Their civilizations just weren't as good as ours. Dark-skinned people created nothing. No, they created shit too. It just wasn't as good. That's all. Because the history books written by our openly racist, murderous, rapey forefathers say so. You idiot. You're fucking so stupid. You're following the leftist line perfectly. What, did you read the whole fucking Frankfurt School's playbook, you idiot? These so-called dark-skinned people were not fucking virtuous people. They murdered and killed each other in the fucking millions. They raped and pillaged each other. They took each other's fucking land. They raped, killed. I mean, what are you talking about? They weren't fucking evil, bad people. They're evil, bad people everywhere doing horrible shit to each other. Oh, it's only white people that did this shit. You moron. You are so stupid. To continue, every advanced civilization created by dark-skinned indigenous people is labeled ancient wonder of the world. That's not true. I haven't seen any ancient wonders. The only ancient wonders that might be considered would be the ones in, like, fucking, for example, Egypt. That's a blip. That's a blip. And honestly, there's nothing all that wonderful about that. They spent decades having poor workers who work for fucking bread and a hovel to live in, hauling massive stones and stacking them. I'll admit the engineering involved is impressive. They got the fucking lines straight and shit, but give me a break. How impressive is that? You want to talk about ancient wonders of the world? Go to fucking Rome. Check out the amphitheater, you idiot. Check out some of the old concrete buildings that still stand, you moron. Yeah, the Romans invented concrete too. And by the way, their concrete, it's stronger than concrete we have today. In many cases. So, yeah, give me a fucking break with this ancient wonder of the world horse shit. It's labeled ancient wonders of the world by white people. But that's simply been whitewashed and making those people white like Hollywood does with Egyptians. That's old Hollywood there, man. All the actors back then were white. I mean, what are they going to do, import a bunch of Egyptian people over who happen to be actors? No, all the actors in Hollywood just happen to be white, pal. That's all it was. And Livingston, Stone, Cecil Rhodes did the Zimbabwe ruins. Oh, hey, Faye. Moron. You're seeing conspiracy theories where there ain't any. Or had been looted like the French doing to the Timbuktu, hiding evidence that the Greeks were educated in Africa. The Greeks were educated by African people who have an IQ average of around 70 to 75. They educated the ancient Greeks? Really? That's a bunch of nonsense. Show me the evidence for that, you moron. This sounds like a bunch of tin hat conspiracy theory bullshit. Like you see these pictures on the internet where they supposedly found the bones of some giant that's like 27 feet tall. Yeah, okay, buddy. Moving on. I have no time for tin hat bullshit. I'm sorry, pal. My European writing is horrible. I'm not privileged enough to write as eloquently as you, since clearly you have better education. Okay, I don't think that my... All right, never mind, let's continue. Maybe we can discuss it in my language. I speak 5 languages. I don't speak 5 languages. You're privileged. You're a black man, but somehow you're privileged because you have some skills I don't have. Wow, you have black privilege. This is the problem. You're ascribing specific privileges, specific skills and abilities you have, or that I have that you don't, as me having privilege. But when you have skills that I don't have, it's not privilege. You're a moron. There are 11 official languages in my country. I'm speaking in English because it's the same language we both can understand and write in. Can you appreciate the fact that I am actually accommodating you instead of being condescending to your own subscriber just because of the color of his skin, nationality? If you don't want people to be condescending to you, don't make contradictory statements and sound like a fucking moron, okay? I can make the same exact argument that you just made for your privilege. Yeah, I might be more educated than you in some ways, but you speak 5 fucking languages. And I speak 1, and a little bit of another, not very well. So if you're going to tell me that I have some kind of privilege you don't because I got more education in one area, and that you're not more privileged, or that you're not privileged as well because you got education, more education than me in another area, well, that's stupid. That's a double standard, you moron. Next. Whites created the Industrial Revolution and all the technology after it. Yep. They built the machines in the factories. Yep. Since they created all of that, they tried to keep most of the jobs in the family. Maybe 100 years ago. Yeah, okay. Past tense. Going to other white people so they can raise their families. Okay, black people do this too. Black person works in a fucking furniture factory or something, gets his son a job there. What is your point? What are they going to do? They're going to, I got a job at the factory, son. There's a job opened up, but I'm going to go down and talk to Bob, the black guy who's sitting on the corner and drinking the fucking Thunderbird, and I'm going to give the job to him instead. That's not white privilege. That's just people doing what people normally do, you moron. Send their kids to college. I don't blame them. Yeah, why would you blame them? They do what everybody does, and that's not fucking white privilege, you idiot. That's not privilege of any kind, except the privilege of being related to somebody. and them taking care of you, which is what they should be doing anyway. What are you arguing? That the father shouldn't fucking try to get his son a job and help him improve himself? You fucking idiot. When you innovate something new, you get to be the main benefactor of it. Yeah, that's why rich people should benefit. And by the way, if you took away benefit, people wouldn't innovate a goddamn thing. And then nobody have any fucking jobs and we still be living in fucking mud huts. There has always been white privilege in this country. Wrong. So he's trying to, see, this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to use a little Trojan horse argument. He's trying to sound all positive and agree with you. And he comes in with this fucking wolf in sheep's clothing bullshit, white privilege nonsense. You're not going to smuggle that shit in, buddy. You're not going to try and use this kind of argument and then smuggle in your fucking leftist bullshit. This country has not always had white privilege. It doesn't have it now. You're trying to argue that white privilege in the past equates to white privilege in the present. The past doesn't exist. The past is gone. There is no such thing as the past. It's all dead. You're conflating nothing time. The past doesn't exist. It's not real. We only have the present. So there is no white privilege. In the last 20 years, they sent a lot of jobs overseas to third world countries for cheap labor. Well, that right there ought to tell you there's no white privilege. Because if the white privilege existed, they'd be trying to employ as many white people as they possibly could. They wouldn't be giving a bunch of Asian and black people in third world countries jobs, you idiot. And number 30, the wall is incredibly unpractical. It should be impractical, you boob, but okay. Just to make it would be too expensive. Have you actually seen the numbers? Have you seen the figures? Have you seen the estimates? Because it's not that expensive, really. Around $19 billion. And that's on the high side. That's the high estimate. Other estimates have been lower. But 19 billion. Let's round it off even to 20 billion. Let's say it costs $20 billion. The estimate is 19. Let's say 20. 20 billion is nothing. Do you know how much money is sent in remittances out of the country by people, immigrants, illegals? Well, immigrants in general, but illegal immigrants. Aliens. They're aliens, actually. Why am I using this word immigrant? Even my brain has been programmed in some way because I'm hearing the leftist media use the fucking word immigrant so much, which is a word that implies moving from one place to another for the purposes of relocation and work legally. They're illegal alien invaders. You know how much they send back to their home countries every year? The illegals. $56 billion. $56 billion. That money is not being spent in America, being used in America. It's going out of America, so it doesn't benefit America. So we're losing $56 billion a year just in them stealing money from us. That doesn't include the free health care they get, the free education, the free food, all the fucking welfare. Now you spend one-time payment, $19 billion, and you stop the majority of them from coming in from South America and Mexico. You know how much money that would save every year? Wouldn't save everything because you'd still have people coming in and overstaying visas, and you've still got the scumbags that are in the country and have been there a long time and they know how to game the system and hide from the immigration control enforcement. But you know how much money that would save? Tens of billions a year. So in 1 year, we would save enough to pay for it. So no, it's not incredibly impractical. Do some thinking, do some critical thinking, use logic and reason before you come to me with an argument and a comment. That's it for comments for this week. I am the MGTOW Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.